So today we're going to look at and test the 3 new cordless rotary tools on the market and also the Proxxon and try to determine which one is the best. Here we have the Ryobi TVM01, which is made in China. And as you can see here, it comes with this hard case. Inside the case we have a USB-C charging cable, 3 adapters, so 45 here, point adapter, and of course a routing adapter. So inside this plastic case there is a bunch of accessories with the quick change chuck there, some sanding drums, polishing pads, some other grinding accessories, and a wire brush, plus the polishing compound. Here we have the Dremel 8240, which is made in Mexico and comes with a soft case. Inside the case you'll find a wall charger and a small assortment with 3 sanding drums and a cutoff disc. Dremel 8250, also made in Mexico, comes with a soft case. Inside the case you will again find the charger there. In the accessory kit, a little bit different, you will find the Easy Lock cutoff wheels, 3 for metal and 1 for plastic. Proxxon, made in the EU. As you can see, it comes with this plastic case. Inside the case you will find 6 collets ranging from 1/32 all the way up to 1/8. The wrench for the chuck. Little case here of different grinding discs and cutoff wheels. And a small little assortment there of grinding, a brass brush, some drills, stuff like that. Inside the case you'll notice that there are spots to hold all this and keep it secure. Charge time, the Milwaukee won this by far. The Ryobi did pretty poor. Again, you're charging that via USB-C. Max RPM as tested. Max RPM here as tested. You can see the Milwaukee and the 8220 are right up there at 31,000, with the Proxxon there coming in last with 21,100. So we're going to test the Milwaukee again here, this time with the 6 amp hour instead of the 1.5 amp hour kit battery, and see if there is a difference in performance. All tools are going to be run at max RPM, and I'm going to use new Easy Lock discs on each one to keep everything fair. So time to cut 1/2 inch rebar. This is where things got a little bit interesting. Now you can see the M12 there with 1 minute 46 seconds. That was with a 1.5 amp hour battery. Now the 8220, the 8240 come with a 2 amp hour, and then the 8250, 8260 come with a 3 amp hour, with the Ryobi at 2 amp hours and then the Proxxon at 2.6 amp hours. Now you can definitely see a difference here with higher amp batteries. So when I put the 6 amp hour battery in the M12, you can see the performance is actually better than the 8250 and the 8260. Alright, so you've seen the results. I'm going to go ahead and put the Ryobi in last for a few reasons. One, it didn't perform very well. stopped multiple times. I had a very hard time getting it to cut that 1/2-inch rebar. Also, it doesn't have a removable battery. You know, they did it for the 4-volt, which works very well, and I think in its class it's the best one, but here we don't have a removable battery. So with that, we have to charge it via USB-C right here. Now it does come in a nice case with a good amount of accessories for the money, but again, I'm gonna have to put it in last. I was also not really impressed with the 8240. Now I do think if you're looking between the 8220 and the 8240, you buy the 8240. The price is pretty much the same at $100. Now the accessories are a little bit different, but still relatively close. The best benefit for going to the 8240 is going to be that you can take the newer style Bosch batteries and of course run Bosch batteries in it. Performance was about the same as the 8220, but what I really don't like is the adjustment wheel here. It's kind of hard to use and it feels cheap. Overall, you know, the tool feels a little cheaper than the 8220, but you're getting the upgraded feature of being able to use that Bosch battery, which is a pretty big deal in my book. Proxxon, overall the build quality is really nice. Now the battery is easy to remove, but of course you can only use it with Proxxon tools, which gives that a pretty big disadvantage there. Now the front here you can see is casting rather than plastic, and then up front you have this milled surface here so that you can mount this easily in a router or some sort of setup, a table drill setup, something like that. But that's where, to me, they failed here, is right here on the front. So you have internal threads. You do not have the external threads that is the standard for rotary tools. Now, is there enough here to make an adapter? I'd say they could do it. You know, a little more material, or you even go to the machine shop, you could have one made so that you could use maybe a depth gauge, something like that on here for more precision work. But that to me is one of the biggest failures of the Proxxon is, of course, the thread here. Speed-wise, yes, it was a little on the lower end, but as you can see, performance-wise, it did very well. So the quality overall is really good. And of course, the price at $220, they've kind of priced themselves out of the market here. 8250, not much different than the 8260 we tested. You can see it is got a little gray instead of all black, and this doesn't light up here on the front. Plus you don't have Bluetooth. So basically, when you're spending the extra $10 between the 8250 and the 8260, the only thing you're gaining is Bluetooth, the light up here of where it says Dremel, and then of course it is all black. Again, I will say, like before, the performance is pretty good. The tool is kind of bulky. That's one thing I don't care about it, but you can use these smaller Bosch batteries, as you can see. Now, keep in mind, if you have the larger Bosch batteries, you're going to run into problems right here on the base because of this lip. Where on the 8240, if you wanted to run a bigger Bosch battery, I don't have one, but I think, you know, with the amount of gap here, you could do it. That tail doesn't come all the way to the end. Whereas on the 8250 and 8260, that tail comes all the way to the end. Then it's going to touch that base on the bigger batteries and it's not going to work. So just keep that in mind. It will work with Bosch batteries, but not the bigger ones. Overall, you know, not a bad tool, but it is kind of pricey at $150. So at the end of the day, I was actually wrong. Now, the last time I reviewed this, I reviewed it with the 1.5 amp hour battery. Now that's what you would get if you ordered the kit. But when you put a 6 amp hour battery on this M12 Dremel tool, it actually, in my tests, outperforms the 8250 and the 8260. Now, Dremel likes to claim that the new 8260 and 8250 are the most powerful. That may be when you're comparing the same batteries, but when you put that 6 amp hour battery in here, this definitely outperforms from my testing. So to recap, I do not like this Ryobi. I am a Ryobi fan, do not like this at all. If you're looking for a budget rotary tool and you don't run Milwaukee, then of course I would recommend the 8240. I do think it's kind of cheap feeling, but I think it's the best value for $100. If you already run the Bosch line and you look for higher performance, either the 8250 or the 8260 is going to be your go-to. Proxxon, this is going to be for the hobbyists, people that want to get the highest precision they can. But yeah, have to give it to Milwaukee. Just like the heat guns, the amp hour of the battery is very important to the performance of the tool. So you can see it reduce that time almost in half, and this is not even a brushless tool. So if you're looking for more data, I've got a few tables at the end. Stay tuned for that. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching, and please stay tuned for more. So of course this table here has the brand, the model, where it's made, the warranty, max claim speed, and also weight with battery. Here you can see the MSRP of tool cost and kit cost. No load runtime. Best performance was with the 8250 there. dB, if you're worried about that, the Milwaukee with 89, and then the Ryobi with 82. Again, you should be wearing hearing protection with these.